My book is called Monkey Man, and it is set in the city of Bangalore. It begins this way. There are four people, my main characters. Srinivas Murthy, who's a lecturer in a college. Neela Mary Gopal Rao, who's the secretary to a top scientist in a scientific institution in the city. Pushpa Rani, who works in a call center. These people spot a strange creature. They are returning home. They all live in the environs of Amanagudi Street, and in the darkness, at dusk actually, when the light is fading, they see a strange creature. They all spot a strange creature, and this has an effect on them. And the next day, there is a hullabaloo in the city, and the next day they are called to speak about it in the studios of the FM radio station. And an immensely popular RJ by name Balaji Brahmendra, he speaks to them to ask them what was the creature that they saw. The book then delves into the lives of the people, and at the same time as it reveals the lives of the people, it also reveals the life of the city, because the city of Bangalore has a life of its own. And I've always thought of Bangalore as the pin-up city for the changes that have taken place in our country, even all around the world, so to say, in the past 4 decades. In dry terms, or say a journalist would describe it in terms of globalization, privatization, the IT revolution that has transformed Bangalore. So what this book is trying to see is how it has affected the people, how Srinivas Murthy, who has thought of himself as a socialist of the 70s, how the sudden changes in his college, the new multidisciplinary streams that come in, the need to use something as simple as PPTs that throws him off, his refusal to use a mobile phone. So he represents a certain mindset of people who are overwhelmed by the changes that they see around them. Then there is Neela, who to me is an Indian representation of multiculturalism. What happens when people of different communities, different religions come together in modern India? The kind of a certain amount of self-doubt and also a sense of entitlement that comes along with it. She also is a focal character in the, from the point of view of romance. There is a certain love interest which comes in along with her. My two other characters, one is Pushpa Rani, who works in the call center, and Balaji Brahmendra, the RJ. They are representative of new India, the kind of opportunities that have opened up, particularly in Bangalore. And it is a teaser actually, when different aspirations, the fears of different characters, different expectations of life, when they come to the fore and they clash in a city which is changing rapidly, what happens? Is it possible that the interactions of all their desires and dreams sets up another figure, something which is completely imagined, chimera, a monkey man? And what exactly does that stand for? Where does it, this is a literary conundrum actually, which the novel tries to explore. And well, I'm just hoping that people will enjoy it and find it meaningful and entertaining. You see, one thing about writing fiction is that fiction writers are able to make the strangest of connections, that which are not very obvious even to themselves. So even as I was thinking of my characters and of the changes that have been taking place over the past few decades, people may recall that there was a spate of reportage about a monkey man, a monkey-like creature that was sighted in Delhi, in Ahmedabad, even in Calcutta, different parts of the country. And there was also, there was a murmur of it in Bangalore. And there were instances of a creature called a Moonochva in the rural areas of Uttar Pradesh, in the Hindi heartland. So this set me thinking, and this was the spur for building. You know, it's like a seed which gathers, say, dust or swirls around it. So also this was the seed around which swirls of meaning started accumulating, and finally this resulted in a story. See, it could be that, or it could, in the story there is a twist. There is also a very realistic and rather a domestic, a very, very domestic explanation for the monkey man. It could be that. It could also be a chimerical creature, a representative of the fears of people. It could be this or that. The novel ends on a note of suggesting different possibilities, and depending on the bent of mind of the reader, I think they would pick the explanation which would most suit their mentality or their disposition. No, actually the sighting of the monkey man and their meeting in the radio station, they are like two bookends. I have used that as the framing device. All through these two, the monkey man is what gives context to their backstories. That is, it is the underpinning of the novel. And the framework, in a way, it is also the spin-off from the thematic framework of the novel. Yes, it does. I have, in fact, I call two people, that is Srinivas Murthy and Neela Mary, my old economy characters, and Pushpa Rani and Balaji Brahmendra, my new economy characters. So on the one hand, the melting away of the old certainties and the coming of the new, it poses a certain set of challenges to people who may not be equipped to deal with it, and who may not either have just the hands-on equipment, the knowledge, or the mentality to change. Whereas my other two characters, who are not burdened by any kind of baggage, the baggage of the past, they welcome these changes and they see them as an opportunity. For them, the city is an oyster which is theirs to be opened, and they are the ones who are going to grasp the pearl that is within the new opportunities that come in. Yes, there are different chapters devoted to events connected with these characters, but since they live around the same street, their lives intersect in ways that they don't quite know. And for instance, they all go to work and come back from the same place. So there are certain threads that I have woven in which affect them. For instance, Neela's mother is a nurse who nurses, or rather she's the caretaker, she becomes the caretaker for Pushpa Rani's father, bedridden father, without their knowing it. So I wouldn't say it is coincidence, but these are devices which are built on or based on something that could very well happen in real life. They are realistic devices with a touch of melodrama, which I've used to construct